So something a bit different today. I'm at home and I've taken Saturday off to complete a project, which is to try and fit a tow bar to the Panda 4x4 to tow behind it this new machine I've got, which is a flail mower for a quad bike, which obviously is done off a tow bar, to sort out all my fields with my really long grass. So I can't do this at the workshop because this Panda is not MOT'd, it's not taxed. So I can only do the work here, which is annoying because obviously most of my tools, or pretty much all my tools, are at the workshop, so we're going to have to, I brought over as much as I can make do with. The tow bar I've got has come off a C3 Picasso I had in stock, so I have no idea how that's going to fit, and I've never fitted a tow bar myself. And we are definitely going to bodge it on, because it's not going to be turning anything other than that quad bike, it's not going to be turning a caravan down the road or whatever. So first things first, let's get the bumper off. This little Panda started first time after sitting for absolute age. Well, I think, when did Brooke and I do a video of her driving around the field? That was a couple of months ago, wasn't it? So plucky little Panda strikes again, doesn't it? I do love these, but as a retail option they're a nightmare because it's so hard to get parts for them now, and they are getting very crusty underneath. And to try and get lower spring pans and stuff like that, lower arms, and you frequently see on the Panda groups people having to write these off now, unfortunately, because of the lack of parts for them. So shame, but yeah, this one will live on, working round our little bit of land. Luckily, because of the raised ride height, you can actually get in everywhere with it, but everything's so dirty I can't actually see what any of it is and how much of it literally needs to come off to get the bumper off. Phillips screwdrivers holding on bumpers is an absolute nightmare, because you know all they're going to do is rust off. It's unlikely we're going to put the bumper back in place, so probably just break these off. Yeah, special helper, yes, special being the key word, I think, isn't it? Great lump. Right, so bumper off. Oh my goodness, and massive spiders. I'm not a Spider-Man. That's a beast. I had to break some of the bolts, the little 8mm bolts either end off. I had to break. I wasn't going to fight them for hours. They're too much of a pain in the bum. They broke the bit of the bumper off here, but I can always fix that back on if I want to. But I suspect we'll end up driving this around without the bumper on, I think, or cut it up quite a bit. So I'm thinking the easiest way, is this is too wide for the chassis legs on the Panda, is to take the brackets off, take this bar off here and attach them to this here, this bit of crash bar here, put the brackets onto that, onto the outside of those, and then adapt this bar, probably by spacing it out between here to be able to fit the arms in. I think that's what we'll do. I'll mock that up maybe and we'll have a quick look. Right, so we'll go and get the tow bar from the Berlingo and see about offering this up and deciding how we want to fit it. And of course, the way we're going to fit it is going to be whatever the easiest way to fit it is. So there they are, trimmed down. Now, I'm sure in the comments lots of people are going mad, going, James, they're just tin. They're not like a chassis leg. They're designed to collapse when you have an accident. Yeah, I've done enough crash repair cars to know what these rear bars are all about, but I believe it's going to have enough strength to tow what I need it to tow around the field. And if that doesn't work out, we can cut it off here and I can make up my own brackets, can't I? But for the moment, it's quickest way wins at the moment. How many tools does it take a chops to fit a tow bar? As you can see, clearly a hell of a lot. So what have I done? Been fiddling around and working out what is and isn't possible. What I've done is ended up taking the end cap off here, off the crash bar. That's the actual thing that obviously takes up the impact, and cut a hole down the side here in order to slide the arm down the chassis leg. So I've managed to get one bolt in here with a big old washer on it, and a bolt there. I can actually put one up through the bottom here as well, because there's a hole on the bottom there. I don't know if that's actually going to serve any purpose or not though. What I now need to do is go through the chassis leg here for the other bolt, but I can't get to the back side of it because the floor pan is just here. The floor of the boot is just here. So what I'm going to do is try and tap. If I drill it and then tap that, hopefully I can get a bolt in there. And then what I'm going to have to do with the bar is either decide to shorten it or work out some way of spacing it all out, I guess. There we go, so I managed to tap, after drilling the hole, tap the chassis leg. So I actually have got a bolt in the chassis leg, as well as in the front here. So yeah, that one's going to have some flex in it, but that one back there, that's nice and tough. Now we're not massively out on the two sides there. If I put this on the outside rather than the inside of the arms, and I space it with a bolt, I think we can make that work. We'll give it a quick go. And there we go. We'll clear everything away and have a little drive and check that everything is happy. It seems level enough to me. Doesn't seem to be a problem. I imagine this changes up and down how much height you want the wheels to be at, I guess, isn't it? It's going down, going up. But first things first, I guess, is check that it doesn't break off as we drive around the field a bit. Just spooked a couple of deer. You're not going to see them in the background there, jumping away. So, drove down here fine. Drove down here fine. I just forgot to bring a can of fuel because it's got next to none in it. But it hasn't popped off the tow bar in the journey down here, and the tow bar hasn't ripped off in the journey down here. So we'll see how we get on. Well, unfortunately that was short-lived from the little clip I'll insert. You can see we've got smoke coming out of here. All this is bouncing all over the place. I don't know if it's user error or I've just got a duff topper. It was doing quite a nice job before then. You can see the first line it did there was quite nice. I don't know if I had it set up too low and things got stuck. I mean, it's almost like the way it's wobbling at the top there and the smoke's coming out there, like there's where the piston comes down and goes, maybe there'll be a rod there, won't there? Whether that's got a problem, I don't know. We'll have to send it back to the guy I got it from, and if it's failed, I'm sure he'll probably sort me. If I've done some user error, otherwise I'll have to pay for it to be fixed. So not a successful end. Towing bit successful, that worked well. Towing bit worked well. And it looks like it'll do the job when either I learn how to use it properly or it gets repaired. All fun, isn't it? Well, I messaged the guy that sold me the mower, and he told me that he could see from the video the clutch was still spinning, so he thought that the roller underneath might be gummed up with grass. So I cleared that up. Then I learned that I had the settings wrong. I basically had this thing flat on the floor, so the car was dragging it and the flails weren't able to engage, so that was overheating everything. So I adjusted the ride height up, cleared the rollers underneath, and away we went. And as you can see, it has, obviously I've done it on the very high setting at the moment, got through all this long grass. As you can see, it's got through all this long grass and made it, well, we get the ride on mower in here now if I wanted to, or I could just wait for this to dry out a little bit and then go down the next setting. So next thing to tackle is the bottom field, which is even worse again. But I've learned it's just a bit of mechanical sympathy. You've got to just slow things down when you hear it labouring, let it catch up. The poor little Panda is struggling a little bit with the clutch because I'm having to be in first gear and ride the clutch quite a lot. But all of my work on setting up the tow bar seems to have been successful. I don't see any issues as it stands right now. There you have it for the gardening section of Chop's garage.